Conservative MP for Rossendale and Darwen, and also chair of the Northern Research Group in Parliament. Thank you, Jake, indeed, for joining us. Just on Partygate, if we can start on that, has the Prime Minister got your fulsome support?
He has, Laura. I mean, it was a really busy and extraordinary day in Parliament yesterday. He has my support because, you know, despite all the facts being out there now, what do we see today? We see the Prime Minister going to Ukraine to, you know, do his best to avert what is the most serious conflict in Europe that we have, you know, stood on the step of for probably 30 years. And that's really what being a leader is about. It's about when the big calls are required, are you the right person to lead the nation? And I'm sure that Boris Johnson still is.
Is there any circumstances in which your support would be withdrawn? I mean, I don't get too hypothetical about it, but he is being investigated, or certainly events inside his home, or for the events particularly linked to him by the police. I mean, if they were to find that he himself had broken the lockdown rules, the law, I mean, is it sustainable, his position, if that was the case?
Well, I don't want to be drawn on what is an active and ongoing police investigation. You know, colleagues, including me, will make their mind up about their support or not for the Prime Minister when they've seen the conclusion of that investigation.
OK, let me finally end on this on Partygate. Let me put it another way, which is, you know, we didn't have to be here. I mean, the Prime Minister insisted, as did his spokespeople, throughout the end of November, the start of December, that there were no parties, that all the guidance was followed. I mean, that's clearly not the case now. We know that. I think even the Prime Minister might well accept that that is not the case. I mean, if Downing Street had been more honest, more upfront about what had happened, we might not be looking at police investigations. We might not look at this parliamentary turmoil and the distraction it's clearly causing the government and everyone else. Do you accept that the handling of all this and the handling by the Prime Minister himself could have been a hell of a lot better?
Absolutely. You know, this could have been handled a lot better, as you say. I really welcome the police investigation, however, because if I think about my constituents in Rossendale and Darwen, they want to know that there isn't one rule for people who work in Downing Street and another rule for them. I think the police investigation does give that reassurance that those who have breached the law will be prosecuted or punished. I think that's the correct thing to do, just as my constituents were prosecuted or punished if they broke lockdown. And, you know, I think that's what people want to see. The law should apply to all of us equally, and the police should be enforcing that law with gusto.